Hey guys, on today's video, alphas, betas, unlimited? That is the question. Let's have a conversation. It's coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel, shop smart, shop S-smart. That's right. Hold the line on reserve list products. I know, a good Army of Darkness quote, right? And remember to smash that subscribe button and join in the fun. We don't really sell our reserve list stuff, we kind of hold it. But today we have an interesting question. And a lot of people have been asking lately, should we be buying alphas, betas, unlimited of, like, you know, the regular lands, the commons, the uncommons, the rares, just the junk rares that nobody really cares about in a regular deck? Are those things you should be collecting? Is that something an investor can make money off of? Well, today let's delve into that and see how we do. Now, the first thing I did was start looking at some of the sales, going across multiple platforms and around the world in this case, to see how some daily sales added up. And I gotta be honest, there was quite a bit. Now, for the ones I'm going to show you today, it's going to be Canada in specifically, but it's even. It extrapolates across everywhere. The prices may be slightly different, but the point is, sales are strong. We're selling basic lands of unlimited, beta, alpha, in groupments, in allotments, and singles. We're selling commons, uncommons. We're selling rares. All these things are being bought out. They're being bought and purchased by people. They're being stored. Now, that question that comes down to me is, would I be buying some of it? Do I want this? Is this value for dollar? Is this something I can make money on later, possibly 10 years down the road, if I decide to sell some off to help me move up the chain? The answer is yes and no. It's kind of interesting. So let's take a look here first. I'm going to show you a full screen on all of these guys so you can get a good look, okay? So let's take a look right away, and you can see some rares from Alpha. This is a Thought Lace. We got a Death Grip and a Chaos Lace. $1,200, $1,200, and $1,300 Canadian. I would not buy those. Not a chance. Unless I'm a collector and I'm trying to finish a set, that is a ripoff. When you take that comparison of $1,000+, you're telling me 5 Chaos Laces gets me an unlimited Mox? Right? Not going to happen. So in some cases, I consider it a pure ripoff deal, and I would not be buying cards at that price. That's out of my range of what I consider reasonable for a card that really doesn't do a lot. Now, when we take a look at section 2 of Alpha, and this is going to be basic lands, you see that like $60, $70, $80, $90 for like a 7.5 means nothing, by the way, other than the fact it's graded. Okay, guys? It doesn't matter to our conversation at all. $99 plus $30 shipping is $130 for a basic land. $130 for a basic land. Which means to me, those things have kind of topped out right now. They're at the highest they're probably going to be for a while. And I myself would not be buying them. If I happen to have some, cool, I'm probably going to keep them. But I wouldn't go purchasing more at that price level, because you saw that last one at $130 for that BGS 7.5. I can just go ahead and have a good day and buy a reserve list card that is not going to come back. That's still just a basic land. And when we look at Alpha 3, you're going to see a couple of circle protections there. You see Death Ward, and then we see a jump 8.5, 8.5s. You know, okay, 70, 80 bucks. You got 20 bucks shipping. You're still talking $100+ for commons, uncommons, which we could go and buy 3 Soul Dove excavations. You could purchase other things to get better value for your dollar going down the road and be a usable card. A lot of people aren't playing circle protection decks. Not a lot of people are using jump anymore. Death Ward, maybe you might see played in 93, 94 deck, depending on how you're doing it. But those are graded slabs, so you won't really be playing with them. So I look at it and say, no, they're topped out. That is not value for my dollar. It's not going to happen. Now, if we take a look at Beta. So Beta, we see a nice Psionic Venom. Now it's lightly played for $9.99. Now in the States, this is cheaper to ship. So $5, $6, $10, $15 for a good old Timmy Poke. That seems more reasonable in Beta, doesn't it? Now we got to understand, I'm not bashing Alpha for being Alpha. Alpha is a very old set with a very tiny print run. But when I'm trying to stretch my dollar and get value for my dollar, I'm going to go for cards I can play, that I can have fun with in a deck. Not ones I'm just going to sit on a shelf to invest in. That's not how I'm going to do it for those particular products or modes of product. There are people who are going to be selective and want to do that, and there is a clientele because these things are selling. but it is not for me, and I would not recommend it to my viewers. Now, beta, on the other hand, you saw that beta Psychic Venom. You see the lands are 20, there's 3 of them. So where an alpha land was like 70, 80 bucks, you can get 3 betas for the same price. But I have the same problem. Am I going to spend $60, $70 getting those, or am I going to buy a fork or brain geysers or save up, it's 6 beta lands worth a copy artifact? Is 8 beta lands going to be worth a Volroth Stronghold? I don't think so. Tolarian Academy, it doesn't equate, does it? When you think about the cards you could get. What happens is we get suckered into making this $20, $30 purchase. You take that $30 you just spent, you put that aside. Then I take another $30 I spent, I put that aside. I think, oh, I just spent 30 bucks. But when you look at your purchase over 2 months, you've done that 6 times. That's 600 bucks. That could have been a Sarah Sanctum. That could have been close to my Mox Diamond. So I'm trying not to do those things. I'm trying to recommend people who want to move up in cards. Unless you already have these cards, don't buy into them right now. Now, Beta 1, you can see some Dingus eggs. All right, 127 bucks for a rare. You see some good old Urza's glasses, and you see 4 of them for 123. It's beta, it's beat up. It has got nostalgic cool factor, don't get me wrong, but there are better cards for your money that are more playable right now to be spending your money on. There are better cards that are reserve list that you can get into and not spend a fortune doing. So those are the ones I would recommend getting into, right? When I do a financial video telling you guys where you can get Soul Echo, cards like that are cheaper and better. If you could get 3 Soul Echoes for the price of 1 beta land or 1 alpha land or 2 beta lands or 3 unlimited, you see where I'm going with this? It's not really good value for dollar of what you're going to get and be able to play with. It'll have a cool factor, and if money's not an object, then it doesn't matter to you anyway, and you're probably not even watching my video this late in. But for those who asked, oh, do a video on this, I'm doing the video on it. I've looked at it. It is not good value. And look, guys, something that's not good value, I'm not going to recommend it to you, okay? It's not that it's not a cool card, and if money's not a problem, go ahead. But for those who are trying to find value for dollar and maybe future potential earnings, you can get much better reserve list cards and get in there than just pick up a cool fan. I mean, it's always cool to have 1 or 2 betas to test against other beta cards in case you're moving up. But when I compare this, say, against unlimiteds, you go, okay, I can get a whole whack load. I can get a whole bunch of unplayed, mostly awesome for 87 bucks unlimited lands. That's cool. 25 for like 13 unlimited lands. Okay, 15 bucks shipping, sure. Right? These are not equating to good value to me. These are not good values. Good values when you get in cheap. You get it when it's on the down, not when it's already climbed up, okay? So when I look at part 2 here, I say, okay, an Unholy Strength for $9.75, which, by the way, it looks pretty cool. Near mint. I've seen those locally in the last couple of weeks for 60 cents, okay? So these are people trying to cash out, make some money, which is understandable. But I'm not going to recommend it to a viewer and say, hey, you should go for these. Like some of the other comparisons you can do, if you want to have fun with yourself, you say, hey, let's check this out. Look at this example. Example number 1. Guys, would you want 35 beta lands or 1 Wheel of Fortune that's like never coming back? Let's face it, most people are taking that Wheel of Fortune. Most people are going to take that revised wheel. That is better value for buck. Okay, unlimited lands look cool, but they're still just lands. Wheel of Fortune ain't coming back, so you're going to go for the wheel. How about part 2? 15 beta basic lands or 1 Volroth Stronghold near mint and 1 Fork revised near mint. What do you think people are going to take? They're going to take Volroth, they're going to take the Fork in most cases. Some of you might be selective and say, hey, I wanted those beta lands. I get it. But for usability, viability, potential growth in a card, the betas and alphas are going to go up because they are that rare. They are that rare. But when I'm looking for value for dollar, the card has to be playable to me. I want to be able to have some fun with it. I can still use any lands I can just shove in my deck if it's a basic land. Unless you want some cool factor and you got to have a couple of playsets of beta or unlimiteds or alpha lands, you're spending a lot of money doing it, okay? Third example, going to be this beautiful, amazing 10 alpha lands, or do you want 30 Soldevi excavations? 30 of them. Look what a Solvati excavation does. When you see Solvati, you go, oh my god. Or just some alpha lands with rounded edges and black edging. That's how I look at it. So although I buy quite a few variety of things, I bought it when it was lower. Everything's high right now. So I'm being a lot more selective. And that's why you guys see when you've emailed me and text me, I am saving for Mox Diamond. I am saving for my Gaia's Cradle. Those are the things I'm saving for. I'm not going to get, 40 alpha beta lands when I could get a Gaia's Cradle. It's just not going to happen. So when we want to look at the final card of the day, the final thing that really locks it in place for me, let's look at an amazing, amazing deal. Would you take an Alpha Soul Ring, those cool rounded edges, for $5,624 Canadian? Or would you rather take a lightly played Mox Pearl for $5,400 Canadian, which means you have a couple $100 left over, you can go buy a Volroth Stronghold if you want. You can buy a couple of forks. When you look at that, I'm going for power over an alpha card. Okay, I'm gonna go for power. If I have a chance for a couple of cool alpha rares, or I can get a Mox and Unlimited, I'm getting the Mox, a Time Walk, a Time Twister. So those old cards, let's say I have some alpha Wall of Swords, Library of Lang. I've got a few alpha cards, but nothing crazy. I look at those alphas and I go, they're $500, $600, $400, $300. Chances are I would trade those to trade up to power, because power is what we talked about being the big boy of the table yesterday, right? It's the key you want to get to. So that's where I would go. I'm not going to sit there and say this is going to be the most amazing deal for everyone, but I look for value. I want people to realize that not everything out there is going to be a quick sale or a great deal. Not everything's going to go up the same. You can't instantly sell things. So you have to look for the best deals you can find to get yourself ahead, build your collection up to what you want it to be. You know, a lot of people don't mind spending the money. Then you go ahead, spend the money. I spend money all the time to get some of the cards I want because I don't want to give up a lot of stuff. But other times, I'm quite content to trade up to things that I'm not using or don't have a need for at the moment. It's just got to be stuff I'm sure I'm never going to use again, or if I have multiples of it and can afford to get rid of everything minus a playset, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in, and this is the whole thing about Alpha Beta Unlimited. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Remember to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one. And I go bibbity bobbity boo, and shop smart, shop S-Smart. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys rock it out. My patrons are there every single day supporting the channel. Thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot to me. You all have a wonderful day today, and I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Have a great one. Shop smart, shop S-Smart. I know. I keep looking over there. I know. Because I should be cleaning. I should be cleaning up this area so we have more area to work with. So I can put a bigger table than the small table I'm on. I know. I'm thinking about it. I'm mulling it over how I'm going to make it work. I'm going to keep trying to clean. I'll get on this. I know. Just bear with me. I'm going to clean. I'm going to clean. Going to clean. Oh, I got to clean. Have a great one, guys.